Welcome back to Gaming Night. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor, released this year, 2023, and is a sequel to a game that I absolutely love, and that is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, this is a game published by EA, developed by Respawn Entertainment, same studio behind Titanfall, Apex Legends. And this game came out April 28th, 2023, and I'm just now getting to the review just because, we just started reviews like literally this week. So if you didn't go see the last review, it was Dead Space Remake. Definitely go check that out. But yeah, we're going to be covering every game that came out this year because I'm like just now starting reviews, so I'm going to catch up on everything that I played previously. I played this game when it first came out. It's not like I'm just now getting around to it. No, I'm just now getting around to doing this review since we're doing these reviews again. So we're going to give it a score out of 0 out of 10. And it's going to have like a little term describing what I think. I will post the results on Instagram and on YouTube posts. Basically a little description of my overall thoughts, some positives, some negatives. And yeah, we're going to get to it. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is an action-adventure, third-person, story-driven game. And here's what I'll say is, like I just said, the first one is one of my favorites. And even then, there was definitely things that you could tell needed to be changed, needed to be improved on, needed to be fixed. The first one launched with like a ton of bugs, terrible performance, and it was heavily criticized for that. But when you got past that, and now since it's been fixed, it's such a great story. It has such a cool gameplay mechanic, and it truly is one of the best Star Wars experiences and video games in general. Now, the biggest takeaway from the sequel, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that's the game we're talking about. The biggest takeaway is the gameplay. Now, I will say, in my opinion, this sequel delivered on everything that I expected. Like, it pretty much just improved on everything. Flat. Boom. That's all you gotta say. Improved on everything that the original did, or improved on, not the original, but, the first game did. But yeah, the gameplay vastly improved. It's faster. There's so much more cooler animations. There's more skills. There's more skill trees. There's more weapons and equipment, better mobility, traversal. Truly, the gameplay is just twice what it was in the first one. Now, this game did something really interesting that I absolutely love. I wish more games did that. And instead of you having to like relearn a lot of the things, it kind of just starts as if you remember everything from the first game, which I actually appreciate to a certain sense, because now when you go back and play 1 and 2 back to back, it's gonna have such a nice smooth transition and everything. A lot of the skills, a lot of the weapons, a lot of the things you had to unlock later in the game are here instantly. So it's not like they're having you relearn a lot of things from the first one. Instead, they just added a ton. They didn't sacrifice anything to be like, oh yeah, let's make progression, throughout the whole game by making you re-unlock a lot of these skills. Nah, you have everything at the start, and they just doubled it, and that is what you're unlocking throughout this game, is all the new stuff, which is something I really, really appreciate and wish a lot more games did. I know there are a lot of games that do that, but I wish every game did that, honestly, just because it just makes it feel like a sequel, and like it really makes you feel like they added a bunch of stuff. And in this game's case, they absolutely did. They added more weapons, like more lightsabers, like the heavy. They had to deal with. They have the blaster stance. I think the dual sided was the dual sided in this one, or was it dual bladed? I'm not sure. Dual wield or dual bladed? I'm not exactly sure which one they added. I'm pretty sure the dual wielding is the one they added this time around. Dual bladed was in the last one. Yeah, it's just so cool. The finishers are awesome. Again, with the new stuff, there's more skill trees. And the mobility and traversal, they added a lot of traversal this time around, and a lot of the first game you had to go, and then you had to backtrack a lot, which is really tedious, really annoying, could get on a lot of people's nerves. But this time they added traversal. It's much easier to backtrack. It's much easier to get around. it just delivers a more smoother, fluid experience throughout the whole playthrough, and that's something I absolutely have to touch on, is just that they really did just improve on everything gameplay wise. And then, you know, visually it's an improvement because it came out later. I mean, technology evolves. It's really hard to mess up visuals, like at least that's not true. It's really hard to mess up sequels visuals because you're just taking the first one and implementing current technology. It's gonna be better. Visually, it's stunning, especially the character animations. The character animations and models and like face renders is actually super great. So definitely big thumbs up for that. Music, I mean, it's Star Wars. It slaps incredibly hard. And once again, the story was excellent. It had gripping storylines, great characters, great moments, awesome boss fights. I will say some missions definitely stood out than others. Like, I remember, like, because I've played this game about 4 months ago now. I remember like half the missions, and then like half the missions I don't like fully. So I will say I do think there's a little bit of an off balance, a little pacing issue there. That I don't feel like every mission was as engaging as some other ones, which, you know, isn't the end of the world. A lot of games do that, but some of the best games do have consistent missions where it's banger after banger after banger. In this case, it was like banger, forgettable mission, banger, forgettable mission, kind of underwhelming mission, then banger. And it was kind of just a little bit fluctuate. Like, you could definitely tell they really went hard on like very specific moments, and then they kind of just did like technically like a filler mission, kind of. But either way, it's still fun just because the gameplay is awesome, the visuals are stunning, and it's Star Wars for like something. And I'd like to preference Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all time. So having a great story in a Star Wars game is an absolutely must, because I love Star Wars. Like, it's just my favorite franchise of all time. And yeah, so overall I'm very satisfied with the story, just because it has so much emotion, has so much drama, and it just delivers on everything you want. But yeah, it does have some pacing issues, and some of the missions and level designs can be a little filler at times. But they definitely executed the great moments when they needed it. Side quests honestly weren't too interesting in my opinion. There are a lot of games where I love the side quests. There's some games I don't like side quests. Some of them I just don't play them. It really just depends. In this one, I didn't really find them interesting, so I didn't play it. That doesn't mean they're not good. I'm not saying they're not good. It's just, for me, I didn't find them interesting, so I didn't do it. Now, on the other hand, exploration, I actually did a lot of. I explored a lot. I got a lot of collectibles, a lot of customization, and that is due to the awesome customization system. It's not like the greatest and most advanced customization system you've ever seen, but it does deliver, because you're able to do a lot with your outfit, with your lightsabers, with your weapons, with your ship, I think even. I'm not sure. I've been playing a lot of Starfield, so I might be getting that confused. But anyway, it's just absolutely great with the customization, which offers great exploration to unlock a lot of these things and collectibles. So definitely, and with the new mobility and traversal, it makes that really, really fun. Let's see, boss fights. Honestly, I said earlier, boss fights are great, and they are. I mean, they're not bad boss fights, but some of them lacked a little bit. Some of them lacked like some creativity, but nonetheless, like, they were all pretty fun. They were all really good, especially the Darth Vader fight. Oh my gosh, guys. The moment you've been waiting for, Darth Vader versus Cal Kestis in full force. Oh no, it's not Cal Kestis. I'm tripping. It is the lady. Oh god, I don't know her name. I forget her name. Wow, I'm doing such a good job at this review. No. The fight with Darth Vader is absolutely fantastic. Cal Kestis versus Darth Vader will happen in the third one. That is what they're leading up to. That will be the defining moment right there. You know, this game does what a lot of things, or what a lot of Star Wars games need to do, and it captures the world of Star Wars very, very well, which overall leads to a wonderful game, great experience. You know, if the pacing was executed better and the launch was smoother, unfortunately it did once again launch with a lot of problems like bugs, performance issues. So if it launched smoother with better performance, less bugs, it would put it up there with one of the best like games of all time. But honestly, right now, the highs are like super high. They could probably fix a lot of the performance and bug issues. I think they have fixed a lot of the performance and bug issues. I'm going to go back and play it, see what they've done. But the highs are super highs. And honestly, this is one of the best Star Wars games of all time. I'm not going to lie. I think it is better than the original. I prefer it over the original or the first game. And I already thought the first game was one of the best Star Wars games of all time. So this one definitely, I would say, is up there with one of the best Star Wars games of all time. But unfortunately, the lows do stick out for me. Just pacing issues and just overall engagement and some of the creative decisions. They definitely do stick out. But overall, still one of the best games to release this year and a fantastic sequel that improves on literally almost everything. So for me, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. It is a fantastic game. Absolutely recommend if you're a fan of Star Wars or single-player action-adventure, third-person story-driven games. Say that 5 times fast. Oh, my Lord. I would just recommend it because it truly has a great story. It's truly fun. And if you're a fan of Star Wars, oh, man, you're in for an absolute treat. But anyway, that's going to do it for my review. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, leave a comment in the section on below provided, and please subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.